Hi, my name is Larissa Disler, and I'm the Adult Services Librarian here at the Galena Public Library in Galena, Illinois. Today, I am going to be doing a crafty class. Our crafty today are making these tiny amigurumi ghosts. It's a pretty simple project. We're going to start with crocheting the base in the rounds, and then the body. We'll attach our safety eyes, embroider a mouth, and sew it up, and that's pretty much it. So we'll go through it step by step. You can come to the Galena Public Library if you're local here and pick up a crafty kit. In that kit, you'll have polyfill, a skein of white yarn, and a little packet with your safety eyes and black embroidery floss. You'll also find in there a tea packet and 2 biscuits. Something you'll also need to have on hand that's not provided in your kit is a 5G or 4.0 crochet hook, stitch marker, and a pair of scissors. Just have all those things handy if you're not picking up a kit from the library. So before I switch over to a different camera here to show you the crafting, I just want to do some of the basic YouTube stuff. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Tell me what other content you'd like to see, what other type of crafties you'd like to see in the future in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you know right away when I post something new. We also have a lot of crafts in from our children's librarian on our YouTube channel, which you're welcome to go and view those as well. So make yourself a cup of tea and let's get crafting. Okay, now I'm not going to use the white because on the camera it's a little blown out and it's hard to see. So I'm going to keep with Halloween tradition, however, and use orange instead. So first you'll tie a slip knot. And then you'll chain 2. And in order to start going around in a circle, you're going to single crochet 6 into the second chain from the hook. And that makes a nice round for us, and if you pull a little bit on the tail, it'll tighten it up. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets into each stitch around to end up with 12 stitches. You know, and maybe I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. If I can remember which button my camera does that. Yep, there we go. All right, 12 stitches around. Now we're working continuous rounds here. We're not joining with a slip stitch, so you can keep track of what round you're on. I recommend putting a stitch marker in here. could also use a color, like a contrasting yarn color, and stitch it through there and just tie it there and to remove later. You could use one of these stitch markers. A paper clip works, or you can just keep really good count, but it's a lot easier to mark your starting point there. So now we're going to do single crochet into the first stitch of the round. I got some polyfill stuck in there. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So we're single crocheting 1 and then increasing 1 all the way around 6 times to get 18 stitches around. All right, now we have 18 stitches in a round. And now we're going to single crochet once into the next 2 stitches. And then twice into the next stitch. So single crochet, increase 6 times around to get 24 stitches. Alright, and our last round for the base of our ghost is going to be single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And then 2 single crochets into the next. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and an increase. 6 times around, we're going to end up with 30 stitches. All right, now that my base is finished, I'm going to cut the tail and fasten this off. So to fasten it off, I'm just going to do a slip stitch and pull the tail all the way through. And now we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to take a sip of tea before I move on. And here we go. So the body of the ghost is essentially the same. Starting with a slip knot. And then we're going to do the same process. We're going to chain 2. And then single crochet 6 into that chain, and we're going to repeat the same exact pattern. So you're going to do increases all the way around for 12 stitches, and then you're going to follow the same thing up until you get to 30 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up since it's the same as the base, and I already have gone over that in real time. I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this until we get to the round where we start forming the main part of the body. All right, so now you've done your increases out to 30 stitches, and we need to start building the body of the ghost here. So we're just gonna go around, you single crochet 30 all the way around for the next 7 rounds. And that'll curve it in and create the body shape. I'm gonna take my stitch marker and move it up to the top to make it a little easier to count how many rounds I've done. Maybe. Okay, there we go. That way I can just count up from there instead of trying to do the math and figure out when I've done 7 rows. So now I'm just gonna go around with single crochets for 7 rounds. And I'm gonna speed up again. I'll see you in a minute. So I did 7 rows of 30. And I'm ready to start doing the scalloped edge at the bottom of the ghost. So in order to do that, you're going to do a double crochet, a triple crochet, and a double crochet all in the same stitch. So wrap your arm around through this stitch, through and pull through for a double crochet and then a triple crochet into the same stitch. And a double crochet again into the same stitch. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next. So 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and there you've got a little scallop. So we're going to do that 10 times around. Double, triple, and double. And then a single crochet and a single crochet, and so forth. All right, and now I have all my little ghosty scallopy nubs around the bottom. So I'm going to cut a long tail for sewing. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slip stitch and just pull the tail all the way through. And I don't need this on here anymore, so I'm going to put away my stitch marker. My base. What I'm going to do before I stuff and sew on the base is I'm going to put on, whoops, there we go. I'm going to find my safety eyes, which are right here. Safety eyes come in a lot of different sizes. These ones are 12 millimeter. They're about 1/2 inch in diameter. And these have these neat little glittery rings that you can put right onto the post for safety eyes to give it some color and sparkle. So these posts just stick right through the holes in the yarn. I'm going to put them 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, between rows 5 and 6. And about, go with 5 stitches apart. Now, you know, I think I'm actually going to put them between rows 6 and 7. It's not an exact science. A little bit lower though. Now, before you put your washers on, make sure they're exactly where you want them to be, because if they're not, you're not going to be able to get the washers back off, or it'll be really difficult. The idea of safety eyes is that they're safe, so they can't just be pulled out. It. You're just gonna stick those washers on there. And then we're gonna take some black embroidery floss and sew on the mouth. For that, I'm gonna use a yarn needle. You could use an embroidery needle, something with a big eye. So I'm going to go up through about right there. And across. So that I have just a line across. And then I'm going to go down a couple of stitches. Stick it about in the middle of that line there, and I'm going to grab my big long stitch, and then I'm going to go right back through where I just came up, and it's going to hold that in place. And then on the inside, I'm just going to tie a knot. And I'm just going to shove those ends right in there because we're going to stuff it, and that's all on the inside. No need for weaving anything in. All right, so now I'm going to sew the base. I'm going to start sewing the base on. It looks a little small, but I promise it's fine. So I'm going to take this big needle again. Put my yarn in there, and I'm going to put this through so that it's facing down because I'm going to shove both these ends inside. So then I'm going to take the long end that I cut when I was finished with the body and use that to sew on the base. All right, now at this point when I have about this much space left to sew, I'm gonna shove the polyfill in there. And then sew it up. And there we are. So I'm going to tie that off with a little bit of a knot. Just going to go through. And then I'm going to pull it through this loop here. Just to bind it off nicely there. And then I like to take it through a couple of times, just back and forth before I cut it off. Just to make it harder to pull out. So now I'll cut that off. And the only thing left to deal with here is our tail where we started. So I'm not going to tie a knot here because we started with a slip knot, so there's already a knot there. I'm just going to push it all the way down through. Pull it out of the base, being careful not to pull too hard because I don't want a little divot in the top of its head. And then I'm going to do the same thing, just back and forth a couple of times, just to make it harder for those ends to pop out of there, but they're not likely to do so. There we are. Thanks for crocheting with me today. I I'd love to see all your little ghosts. If you want to post them on social media and tag the Galena Public Library, we'd love to see them. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll put my email in the link down below, in the description down below. I'll also put the link to get the pattern down there. If you're having trouble accessing the wheel board to get the pattern, just send me an email and I will be happy to email it out to you.